going to do the question beautiful array. So it is one of the lead code daily challenge question. So in this question, basically, we would be given input as an integer, means any integer would be there, say 4. This is our first example only. And we need to return an array which needs to be beautiful. And in context of beautiful, what they mean is that the array which should be there, if we take any of the triplet in it, then they shouldn't make up any arithmetic progression. And that is what they mean by beautiful array. That is, if we say here only, if we take 1, 3 and 4, the middle element that is 3, if we multiply by 2, then it is not equals to 4 plus 1. It will be simply 6 and it is not equals to 5. And if we take this part, then here 3, 4 and 2. Here if we take 2 into 4, it won't be equal to 2 plus 3. That's 5 and here it is 8. So that's why this array would be useful. Actually, if we um, if we take any integer, here it is 4 or 5, any of the integers we are taking, there could be multiple answer for the same. Basically, we need to return permutation of the elements which could be possible, and they should follow arithmetic progression over the triplets present in this array. So this is basically what they want to say. Means the question here is simply about here the question is simply about that what we need to do is that whatsoever is there in the middle, it shouldn't be equal to the sum of the left and the right element to that particular element. So that's why then only it will be known as the beautiful array. Moreover, it is already written that num should have a permutation, basically permutation of integers, and that permutation should remain in the range of 1 to n. That is, the size of the array should be 4, which is the given integer here, and in this the size should be equal to 5, which is the given integer here, and here the size is 5. So that they want to convey. So now it's come to the approach of this question. First, how we can do this, like we are given with say n equal to 5, then we are number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. If we take any triplet, say if we take this element only, here we are taking this triplet, then 2 into 2 will be equal to 4, and here 1 plus 3 would be also equal to 4. So it won't be satisfying the property of beautiful array. So that's why we need to think about something that we should separate out such elements. So the first thing which comes to mind is that we could do it by separating it in the form of odd and even. That is, we are having some odd elements here and then even elements here. So it will be simply 1, 3, 5, 2 and 4. But here the purpose is not sorted completely, because if we take this, then 3 into 2 will be simply equal to 6, and 5 plus 1 is also equal to 6. Then again arithmetic progression will be there. So that's why we need to more optimize upon this thing. Basically, not optimization. We need to think more about this. That how we need to, even after separation, how we need to proceed with this. For that thing, what we could take is, like if we take just one element, and if we could generate more elements out of this, means one odd and one even, because if we are having a number say 2, then surely there would be two elements in it, and it is not required that the element should be even only or odd only, and also there is not requirement of that element should be odd and even both, but it is already mentioned the element should be in the range of 1 to n, right? So that's why if n is equal to 2, then element should be 1 and 2. If n equals to 3, then elements should be 1, 2 and 3. But we need to arrange them in such a manner that they don't form arithmetic progression. For that fact, we can arrange it in this manner, or either we could arrange it in this manner. So in this case, there is no arithmetic progression and both of them are beautiful arrays, right? So now we need to think that if we are only given with one element, then how we could make beautiful array out of it. Means if the element which is already presented, if it is already the part of beautiful array, so how we could generate more elements out of it. So for that fact only, if we want to create an odd element, so what we will do? We simply multiply by 2 and subtract 1, because if we are multiplying it with 2, then it becomes an even element, and if we add or subtract anything from it, then it will again become an odd element only. So now the answer will be simply 1 to 2, and then basically it will be 1 again. And if we simply only multiply by 2, then it will be 2. So now from 1, which was a beautiful array, now we have created two more elements and they are again beautiful array only. And then if say now n value is 4, here the n value is 1, here n value is 2. If we are having n value equals to 4, then how it will be done? Then we will simply do again 1 into 2 is equal to 2, and 1 into 2 minus 1 equals to 1 again. Then 2 into 2 equals to 4, and 2 into 2 minus 1, which will be equal to 3. But we need to do all these things in a particular order. Means if we will be doing in this order, then it won't work. So for that fact only, we simply need to do it like first we'll count odd elements which could be made out of the given array, means this one, and then we need to count out the even elements which could be made out of this array. So basically, if we what we are doing here is that if 1 and 2 is given, then it will be simply like written like this 1, 3, and then it will be 2. Basically, first 4 will be calculated and then 2 will be there. So the array would be this, and this is already a beautiful array only. And the n value is 4, so thus this would be our answer. Now, if I conclude this algorithm, basically we have arrived with various test cases of of the same example, and then we have okay, to this conclusion. Basically, after deriving so many samples on same thing, we could simply induce a relation out of this. Like whatsoever a number is, like if we take our array kth element, and if it is not equals to basically 2 times it is not equals to array of I plus array of j, and on this element if we put this formula, that is if we simply put that array of k into 2 minus 1 in area of j into 2. And like this, if we are doing for other elements also, area of I into 2 minus 1. So rather than doing with this, means basically we need to first find out all the odd, and after that we need to find out with the even. And area of I into 2, and then area of I basically j into 2. Now whatsoever will again come up with this, it will be again a beautiful array only. Means simply, if this relation is being followed, which is there, if it is followed, and if we simply like add anything to it, here we will be adding 2 times, so 2x, or if we simply multiply anything to it, in this relation only, then it will again come up with the previous relation which was there. So that's why if earlier this relation was being satisfied, that is earlier if it was a beautiful array, then again the new array which will be formed, it will be again beautiful array only. So now let's implement this formulation in into the code. So basically in this, what I've took is that I've first taken the result array only, and in this I have put just one element because one will be a beautiful array in itself and it won't follow any sort of arithmetic progression. So after that, what I've done is I've simply run a loop which will be basically having two relation in it, that is for odd elements and for even elements. And it will whenever that odd element would be less than n, so it will be simply pushed to the temp array, and whenever this even element which will be less than n, it will be pushed into this temp array. So this is how the temp array will be filled, and at each level means when this odd element filling would be done and this even element filling would be done. After that, what we need to do is we need to simply push this temp into the original result vector so that our result vector would be having a new size, and then again our elements could be calculated upon until we are being having a vector which is of the size equal to n. And at the end, what we need to do is we simply need to return this result vector. So this is how we will be implementing this in C++. Now, we could also implement the same in Java and Python. How we need to do the same in Java and Python is, so what we need to do here is, again we will be requiring a vector, and in Java that vector is known as ArrayList. So we would be initializing it here, and after that we will simply adding the way we simply push back into a vector. Here we add that one into the result, and after that we are doing again the same steps only, that we need to run a loop whose size would be simply less than n, and as the size will be less than n, and again we need a temporary array list in this, and after that we will be first putting all the odd elements into a temporary array, basically array list, and here we are putting all the even elements in a temporary array list. And after doing both of these steps, what we are doing is that we are pushing all the elements of the temporary array into the result array. So now our result array would be having again all new set of elements in it, and it will again run the loop until we reach the size of the result array list as equals to n. So at the end, as the return type of the function is basically this, so we simply need to convert our array list into this. So that's why what we are doing is we are using result dot stream dot map to end function, where every element in this result array list will be mapped to this array. So this is how it could be done in this Java. Now if we need to do it in Python, so we simply need to again require a result vector or array list in basically her list. So we need to run a loop whose length is less than n, and then again we are putting the even elements and the odd elements into the result. We are not taking any temporary, we are directly putting it into the result itself, and at the end we need to return whatsoever is in the result until our size is less than or equal to n. So this is how it would be implemented in Python. So one more thing, as we are having those relations, means odd and even one. So we could, like we are already having the relation of odd and even, that is uh, for odd elements what we need to do is, if we take a function, then for odd elements it will be simply like we need to call this into it, and for even we simply need to do like this. Basically what I want to say, that it act as the recurrence relation only, and the base case for this recursive solution could be simply when n equals to 1. And if we want to memorize it, then it will be simply TP of 0 equals to 1. Basically, what we are doing is that we are simply building up the solution over this element only, because 1 would be always a beautiful array only. So that's why this could act as a base case if we memorize it, and if we just say about the recursive relation, then it could act as the two recurrence relations only, means basically the two choices which we need to make, and this will be our base case. So this question could be also done in the form of DP only. That's why I was thinking about this. So this was all for this. So thank you.